because of the inflation shock, this year growth was weak, as you just mentioned, negative in contraction in the third quarter, but overall quite weak for the year. And the main drive to GDP growth has been consumption, in particular consumption of energy and food. But actually, looking at the latest figures, if you look at the third quarter, consumption recovered. So I think that there is good reasons to believe that this is because of the disinflation, consumption could now rebound in the coming quarters.
Okay. So Christmas actually could give us a bit of an indication of how consumption is doing. So what does that mean for 24 then? How do you see the economy going for next year?
I mean, sluggish growth again next year as this year, but with some change and shift in growth drivers, in particular, as I just mentioned, we expect consumption to recover. Consumption was flat this year, but now we are looking at growth in real disposable income. Wage growth is now, in France, higher than inflation. So there are some purchasing powers coming on, and that should support consumption. On top of that, we see that households in France have accumulated excess savings. They have still a high savings ratio, and as you mentioned, perhaps in Christmas we will see the savings ratio decreasing. That will be good news for consumption.
We know the first half of 23 was very much marked by protests and strikes because of the pension reform. It looks like things have calmed down quite dramatically in the second half. But you do mention political risk in 24. What do you mean by that?
Of course, we will have the European elections, and in France there is a chance that the populist parties raise in the polls. We will see, so that will add to political tensions. We can also not rule out some new elections, new general elections. We have seen with the latest laws, for instance, the immigration laws, that it's difficult in France to implement laws because the government does not have a majority. So that's the reason why reforms, the votes of public finances may continue to be difficult.
So you think, I was going to mention that immigration law and how it was a bit of a slap for Emmanuel Macron and his government, because all the opposition for the first time joined forces to vote against a debate on the immigration law. So does that mean that we have a lame duck president, a lame duck government, that there will be no reforms possible in the next 2 years of the mandate?
I think it's going too far to say that. We have seen that with the pensions reforms in France, with also the budget laws that were voted. Eventually they are voted, but it comes after a few weeks, few months, and probably it reduces the capacity to vote many more votes, many more laws, sorry. So that's, yes, hurdle, but I would not say that's a lamp dunk.